The sister of NBA star Naz Reid was killed in a shooting in broad daylight over the weekend. Now that attack is sending shockwaves through her Jersey Shore community and beyond. News 4's Ted Greenberg has a look at the accused killer who faced a judge today.
At the Paragon Apartments in Jackson Township, flowers left on the ground, bits of torn police tape, and tremendous disbelief over the murder of 28-year-old resident Teriah Reid.
I think we're all still in shock that this occurred right here.
We heard shots fired. We heard someone screaming.
911 calls poured in after Reid was shot and killed around 11 Saturday morning near the apartment complex exit.
The guy's walking away, black sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, tan backpack.
Her 29-year-old boyfriend, Shaquille Green, arrested nearby. He's charged with murder and appeared in court today via video from jail. Less than 2 weeks ago, Toraya joined her brother, Minnesota Timberwolves star center Naz Reid, during a youth basketball camp he hosted at Hoop Group headquarters in Neptune. The Reids grew up in neighboring Asbury Park.
She was in the building, smiling on the sideline, helping out. And then, a week later, you just hear about this, and it's just sadness.
James Cooper, one of the Hoop Group directors, has known the family for years.
Just 1 minute you hear, the next minute, life snatched away from you, and I just have none but pain for the family and what they're going through right now.
Shaquille Green has a detention hearing scheduled for Thursday. The folks here at Hoop Group headquarters remember when Naz Reid first walked in as a middle schooler. And they say Teriah was also in and out of the gym as he grew up. In Neptune, I'm Ted Greenberg, News 4, New York.
On the morning of September 6, 2025, the quiet township of Jackson, New Jersey, was disrupted by a tragedy that would soon ripple far beyond the local community. It was just before noon when multiple 911 calls reported gunfire at an apartment complex on Larson Road. When police arrived, they discovered a young woman lying near the exit of the building. She had suffered several gunshot wounds. Despite emergency response efforts, it was too late. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Her name was Toraya Reid. She was 28 years old. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and to millions who would soon hear the story, she was the older sister of NBA rising star Naz Reid, forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But to her family, Teriah was more than that. She was the protector, the one who stepped up when times were hard, the one who made sure her younger siblings felt cared for. In their eyes, she wasn't just Naz Reid's sister. She was a second parent, a source of strength and a light in their lives. This is the story of Teriah Reid's life, her tragic murder, the man accused of taking her from her family, and the ripple effects that have shaken an NBA star, his family, and an entire community. Teriah Reid was born and raised in New Jersey, the eldest of 4 siblings. Her younger brother Naz would eventually go on to fame on the basketball court. Another brother, Jackson, and a younger sister completed the close-knit family. Growing up, the Reids were a tight unit. Naz, in interviews before this tragedy, would often describe how much his sister meant to him. "She treats us like she's our parent," he once said, giving credit to the way Teriah stepped into a nurturing role early in life. Friends and family described Teriah as protective, outspoken, and strong-willed. She was someone who made sure her siblings were okay, even when she herself was struggling. She attended Roselle Catholic High School, like her brothers, and was known for her bright personality. But behind her strength, Teriah faced the challenges that so many young women do, balancing relationships, family obligations, and her own personal ambitions. And in 2025, it was a relationship, one that prosecutors later described as troubled and volatile, that would end in tragedy. It was a Saturday morning in Jackson Township. Neighbors in the Paragon apartment complex were going about their usual routines. Some were heading out to run errands. Others were enjoying the late summer air. But around 11 a.m., everything changed. Gunshots rang out inside the complex. Several witnesses described hearing 3 to 4 sharp pops, echoing down the halls and bouncing off the concrete walls. At first, some thought it might have been fireworks, but then came the screams. When first responders arrived, they found Teriah lying near the building exit. Evidence at the scene would later suggest she had tried to escape, making her way toward safety before collapsing. She had been shot multiple times. Despite immediate attempts at resuscitation, she was pronounced dead. Investigators quickly secured the scene. Detectives from the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office and Jackson Township Police began canvassing the area. Witnesses described seeing a man flee the building on foot. Within minutes, law enforcement had a suspect in mind. His name was Shaquille Green. He was 29 years old, and, according to prosecutors, he was Teriah Reid's boyfriend. Authorities say Green and Reid were in a dating relationship. Like many couples, they had their ups and downs. But according to investigators, those downs had become increasingly troubling. Court documents later revealed that Green had accused Teriah of cheating on him. Prosecutors would point to this as a potential motive for the killing. When police arrived at the scene, Green had fled. But his freedom didn't last long. Officers tracked him down nearby. He was arrested without incident. Inside the apartment and along Green's path, detectives recovered evidence. Shell casings, signs of a struggle, and witness accounts pointing to him as the shooter. He was charged with murder and multiple weapons offenses, including unlawful possession of a weapon and possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose. For the Reid family, the arrest brought no relief. Their beloved daughter and sister was gone. News of Teriah's death spread quickly. At first it was local coverage, woman killed in Jackson Township shooting. But as details emerged that she was the sister of NBA star Naz Reid, the story made national and even international headlines. For Naz, the tragedy struck at the height of his career. He had just helped lead the Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals. He was recognized as one of the league's brightest young stars, earning the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award in 2024. But none of that mattered now. His sister was gone. On social media, Naz expressed his grief, writing tributes to his sister, thanking fans for their support and making it clear that Teriah was more than just an NBA sister. She was a central figure in his life. Their younger sister, Jackson, echoed that sentiment, writing emotionally charged posts, calling the accused killer a coward and insisting that Teriah's memory be preserved as her own person, not just as an attachment to Naz's fame. Friends described the family as devastated. They had lost their anchor. And Naz wasn't the only NBA figure mourning. His teammate, Karl Anthony Towns, publicly wrote, "Heartbroken. No words can ever take away the pain for my brother." Holding everyone close in prayer today. The Timberwolves organization also released a statement, expressing support for Naz and his family during what they described as an unimaginable loss. What had begun as a domestic dispute had now become a story of national attention. A promising athlete's career was overshadowed by grief. A family was left shattered. And the question now was, why? What drove this young man, Shaquille Green, to allegedly pull the trigger? What signs were missed? And how could such a tragedy happen in the life of someone whose family was just beginning to enjoy the rewards of hard work and sacrifice?